Well, the much anticipated Bixby personal assistant is here, but you can only use it on a Samsung device. And it's not even actually here. It's almost here. According to Samsung, Bixby is a different kind of assistant. They prefer the name agent, like a spy. They probably wouldn't like us to call it a spy either. They probably don't like that. No. According to the press release, Bixby is context aware, so it knows where you are and what you might want from that particular interaction you're having with it. It'll release next week with the new flagship Samsung Galaxy S8, and it will work with pre-installed apps, and then soon the company says they'll release an SDK. Leo and I talked a little bit about this on iOS Today earlier, and I liked that it was, they called it, what was it? It was context tolerable. I can't remember the word that it, cognitively tolerant.
Oh,
which,
what the hell does that mean?
You guys should need to be cognitively tolerant with me sometimes, which means understand what I'm saying when my words don't exactly come out the way they should. But from an assistant, it's like, with Siri, you have to say, or read my text messages or read my messages. You have to say things very specifically. But what Samsung is promising is that you can say things anyway, like the way I randomly say
better
things.
Natural language processing, basically.
Exactly.
I wish they would just say that. You have to really come up with some silly little turn of phrase. It's just like, you can talk to like a regular person rather than, cognitively tolerable. It's just, I don't know. I mean, like, I remember S-Voice, which showed up on the Galaxy S3, Galaxy S4, and that sucked. I mean, it was atrocious. And whenever I think of what Samsung does with software, really outside of the Gear VR, which is mostly Oculus-powered software, it largely isn't great. It isn't really a great experience for me, and this is my opinion here. But this is clearly something that you expect on a phone these days. You expect to be able to talk to your Android using the Google Assistant. You expect that Siri is going to be there. Alexa has really popularized the idea of voice assistants. So I find it curious that Samsung feels like they need to build this out rather than just rely on Google for this sort of situation. But it sounds great. Like having that contextual awareness and having that natural language so you can just speak to it like a regular person. I mean, that could be game changing if they nail it. But I don't know if I trust Samsung to do that. So I can't wait to try it out. I'd love to be wrong here. But it's really kind of fascinating that they're trying to come out with this and see if they can actually differentiate it, because really all the assistants are pretty similar and they're all pretty dumb in many ways.
Yes, they are, these smart assistants. Well, so they're not building it from scratch, right? They bought the company, and I can't remember, but it was the guys who started Siri.
Yes, that's right.
So, and she had another name, and I don't know. It's interesting that they've given this one a male name.
Yeah.
Although I guess Bixby could be gender
it might
neutral.
Be gender neutral. I mean, you can make Siri's voice male or female.
Right.
I think you can do the same with Alexa. I'm not sure if you can do that with Google's Assistant. I've never tried.
Yeah, and I don't think you can do it with Amazon Echo either. I think she has one voice.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think they are. Most of the assistants are not so smart, and they're not so smart in totally different ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just.
But to a certain extent, I guess maybe I'm being a bit harsh on these things. In order to get smarter, you have to talk to them more. They have to be used. That's the only way that they can change and improve, right? So. It is still early days in the total grand scheme of things for voice-controlled assistants. And I guess, one more competitor can't necessarily be a bad thing. I do wonder how they come up with these names, though. I mean, Bixby's pretty unique. And I know at least with as Burke just mentioned, Bill Bixby was played David Banner in the Hulk TV series, which I was just watching reruns of that off of iTunes like 3 months ago. It doesn't hold up as well as I thought it would.
Yeah. Did you watch it when it was a kid? When you were a kid, I feel like that.
Oh yeah, I totally did. I used to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I feel like Bixby sounds like Jeeves or something, like a British assistant.
I guess it does kind of have that feel to it. Yeah. Interesting stuff. What a focus group to sit on that would be.
Yes. Yeah.